of course, everybody's focused on football program. Directly related to that, of course, is the guy that calls the shots, and that's the athletic director. And it's been Bill Moos, who is stepping down after a long tenure at a number of schools. And how has that been received? Was it expected? And how has his tenure been analyzed by most out there?
Yeah, kind of a mixed bag there. We kind of have to bounce around everywhere on that. To us in the media, it wasn't a big surprise. The surprise was the timing, because we've known that he was not going to go past 20. His contract was ending after 2021. And he wasn't going to stay around anymore. He was brought in for a specific purpose. And, there's been a lot of things that have been coming out from behind the scenes and stuff. And the number one word is dysfunction in the entire athletic department. So I think it was kind of a mutual kind of a thing. And you have to remember too, like I just said, that he wasn't really going to stay here much longer anyway. He never bought a house here since he was hired. He lived in a hotel for a long time, and then he lived in an apartment complex. And his wife didn't live here year round. And, they own a big ranch, and he goes out there and works a big ranch most of the time in his downtime anyway. So he's kind of riding off into the sunset right now. With the athletic director position, it's been kind of a thing where the last three that have come in, Tom Osborne was brought in to fire Bill Callahan. And then Sean Eichhorst was brought in to fire Bo Pelini. And then you bring in Bill Moos, who didn't really matter. Everybody knew Mike Riley was going to get fired, but he made the Scott Frost hire. One feather in his cap there. And then with Nebraska basketball, he hires Fred Hoiberg. Another feather in his cap there. And then Nebraska baseball, he hires Will Bolt. Third feather in the cap. I don't know who else, what other AD would have been here that wouldn't have hired those three guys. So, when I hear people giving him credit for what he did, I think he just kind of was a guy that was kind of a stopgap to get rid of another problem in the department. And so now you move on, and a lot of pressure. A lot of people think that Scott Frost had something to do with it. And you know what? I don't even want to go into that. I don't want to delve into that world whatsoever. But bottom line is you got to get a guy in here now that is going to support the football program. I think that was one of the biggest things knock on Bill Moos was that he wasn't really going out there and putting himself out there to put all those resources into the football program. And you have to also keep in mind that, and he didn't realize this either, that he has three other programs besides football that pay for themselves and bring revenue in. The basketball team, obviously, and the volleyball team, obviously, and the baseball team when they're good. And they've got top-notch facilities all the way across the board on that. And I don't know, but they're looking to the future, and you bring in a guy that gives Scott Frost, gets on Scott Frost and demands success, and we kind of go from there.
Yeah, so obviously everybody ties the AD role to the football program, and that's the highest profile program at most schools, and certainly at Nebraska. They look directly at, okay, how is football doing? This is our evaluation of the AD. As you mentioned, the baseball program's been thriving. The volleyball's been excellent. And you mentioned the three hires. Certainly, Frost was a slam dunk hire, but he was coming that way anyway. He didn't have to be lured to Nebraska.
No.
Of course, that's where he wanted to be.
That's why, Bill Moos was not brought in to hire Scott Frost. So, yeah.
People are going to ask who should be the next athletic director. Now, I don't keep track of athletic directors generally across the country, but in terms of specific names, but I got to think they're looking for somebody who is taken maybe a difficult situation, and he's been supportive in raising money and raising support, and has had successful hires overall, but certainly has had a good football track record.
Yeah, and there's a ton of names floated out there. Actually, Nebraska Chancellor Ronnie Green, gave a short interview today when they were breaking ground on the new engineering college here on campus, and he gave a few brief statements about it, and it's a national search, and he said actually Tuesday he'll elaborate on it more. But there's been so many names thrown around there, and I don't care what publication or what internet site you listen to or watch, and there's just a huge list of names on there, and I wouldn't even want to go in there to speculate on anybody that's on a short list at this point. So, yeah, we'll see.
Peyton's asking about Scott Frost getting fired and who would be a viable replacement. Well, first of all, you got to realize that Scott Frost would not be, if he is let go, they're going to let him coach the season. So we don't know what coaches are going to be available. So it depends on the success or lack thereof all across the country.
Well, just Peyton, just to answer your question as an insider and somebody that's around the program and stuff like that, if they fire Scott Frost, I have no idea where they would go after that. That would be just a crazy thing. I don't know.
And I got to think that even though this fan base, of course, but even the people in charge want to see a measurable improvement on the field, and you first go to wins and losses, that the schedule being what it is, that has to be taken into consideration in terms of what the expectation should be. They can improve considerably and be 6-6 this year.
Big improvement. Yeah. You got to show progress. I think we say that every week on this show, right? Yeah, winning cures all of this. Winning takes your recruiting up from a 3-star level to a 4-star level. You have everything that you need resource-wise here. You have the fan base. Now with the name, image, and likeness laws going into effect here in, on Friday? You know what? And I know people have asked us before. People have asked me about why does that benefit Nebraska? Nebraska is the only show here in this state. So if you're a popular player, your name, image, and likeness means a heck of a lot more than if you're I won't even point out another school anywhere, just to, we'll nip that in the bud right now. So there's a lot of things moving right now, and it's all towards the positive. And if you can show that out there on the field, you put all this Scott Frost debate, should he get fired or not, you put that to the wayside, and you build from there. And, you bring in an AD, hopefully that's a guy that is in Scott Frost's corner and wants to, or is willing to put everything into it to help him out as much as he can and support the program.
I've got to think that it's going to take a couple years before anybody can really analyze how this name, image, and likeness is going to benefit some programs and not benefit others. Certainly, people conjecture that LA and Miami are entertainment spots and locales with certain attractions. Therefore, those athletes are going to benefit from USC, UCLA, Miami. However,
Big market.
big markets and a lot of competition.
Yep.
So again, all you have to do is look at a map and understand where professional sports are versus collegiate sports. Also understand the collegiate markets at a big time level in places like Nebraska. And there aren't a whole lot that don't have competition within the state.
No, not really.
Michigan as Michigan State, Penn State as Pitt. We could go on and on and
maybe
on.
Ohio State.
Kansas State.
Maybe Ohio State.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just because you're in Columbus, but you're still competing
with the NFL,
with the NFL, with the NBA, and with Major League Baseball. So,
with 5 professional teams, 6 counting the NHL right there in town.
Yep. So
we'll see. I think there's going to be opportunity for just about everyone. Are certain programs and certain locales going to have benefits that others and advantages others don't? Yes. What they are, again, I think we're surveying it from both sides. What those are, I don't know, but there's going to be opportunity for everyone, everywhere, to some degree.
Oh, big time.